This is a review for the NTK Panda two-person tent, 6.7 by 4.7 foot, and cost about $20, $19.99 on Amazon, and got it all set up here. As the usual deal, only took a couple minutes. Set up easy. Standard design that they all are. This one has real high footprint. As I was setting it up, I was impressed by the poles. Actually, that they're really flexible. And really smooth. I don't feel like you're ever going to get like fiberglass splinters from this thing. They plug down into the base, provide the tension. Really small top vent. But the stitching impresses me on this. It feels well assembled as compared to other really inexpensive tents I've seen about the same price. Another interesting thing is this tiny little rainfly is actually permanently attached. It's attached here by loops. Ta-da! Now, with the rainfly on, I'm gonna take a look inside. Huh. Well, that's not right. Game is stitched shut there. Seems an odd choice. So I'm going to cut this to get in the tent. And now we'll take a look inside. It's like a pretty good zipper. Compared to some that I've seen, this feels smooth and secure. Looking inside, it seems interesting. It's like silver tarp, blue tarp bottom. The stitching looks good. Feels solid. There's not, except from the fact that the doors were sewn shut, which may actually, for all I know, be a usual step in the process. They just forgot to trim it. But aside from that, stitching looks pretty good. Going inside, not a lot of ventilation, of course, just the top two vents. But there appears to be lots of clearance of the rainfly, so it looks like this will actually stay nice and dry up top. In regards to the door itself, as I said, is a nice strong zipper, but does not attach to the base. As is, I guess, maybe not that uncommon, but there's a piece of Velcro here to at least attach them lightly, but come on, that Velcro is not really going to do anything once the wind starts blowing. The inner zipper here feels pretty good. Uh-oh. Here I got a bunch of loose threads. I need to trim all these loose threads off, make sure they don't jam up the zippers. Yeah, once the wind starts blowing, if there's any rain, it's going to start coming in that doorway. But that'll also provide venting in all the other situations, and probably won't get in that much rain. There is overlap between the door and the base, but not a lot. It's pretty much straight to the zipper. So Once it's staked out, that may be a little bit better. I'm holding taut at the moment. I didn't stake it down because it's just kind of a quick setup. All in all, I think that this will perform a whole lot better than other so-called two-person tents. This one also seems a little bit bigger than other ones I've reviewed. My feet hit the bottom. I'm 5'10", and up here, my head pretty much hits the ceiling. But there is enough room for me and my stuff. And if I were to sleep diagonal, I can get stretched out. My feet are touching this edge. Got my head. There's plenty of clearance. Ooh, that's not bueno. There's a hole even larger than the previous hole I found in my previous tent. This is different though. This one is not created by tension. This is cut. So I'm not sure what happened here. Wasn't cut from like opening the package. This was inside the bag and came out that way. Pretty big hole. And so if it starts to rain, that's gonna trickle in. All in all, for a $20 tent, I'm really impressed. It feels comfortable in here too. The materials seem to breathe a bit. For its size, I think that this is, I've spent a whole lot more on tents. It didn't feel that much bigger. The materials feel solid. I'm impressed with the quality of the tent's construction. The stitching's good. The tent material itself is good. The zippers feel good. All things that for $20, not sure that I can ask a whole lot more than that. If you were looking for a tent for yourself, for single use, I would definitely buy this. If you were buying something that you would hope to use over and over again, but be relatively small, I would recommend this. It's not going to be good during the summer because it's going to get crazy hot with like no ventilation on top. Or I shouldn't say no, but there's two. Of the top quadrant, there's only 2 screens instead of 4. I've been in a tent slightly bigger than this that had a 4 top screen, and it was way hot. It was way hot. Could not exist in the tent during the day. Difficult to sleep at night. It was hot. This tent's going to be hot if it's at all warm environment. Truth is, even your own body heat inside is going to warm this up pretty quick. If it's not raining, you could definitely open up the door, and 1 person would be great in this. 2 people, not with your stuff. But 2 people could technically sleep. 2 people could definitely spend the night in a tent like this. If your stuff is elsewhere, if you're going with friends and you're not really fighting the elements and you've maybe got another place like an RV to keep your stuff, this would work just fine. For $20, I've definitely not yet seen a better tent. And I think that this is something, in my purposes of buying these and distributing to the homeless, I think that not only is this ideal because all of the materials are good. The tent material is good. The arms themselves, the construction is good. The stitching is good, except for the door being stitched shut. But I'm somewhat willing to forgive that. It's $20, and there's little scraps, not trimmed off. Those are the sort of things that for $20 I think are totally reasonable. They're not going to interfere with the use. I think that a person would be able to use this tent over and over and over again. And for me, providing it to somebody who's going to be on the street, who needs to be able to get off, I think they would easily be able to withstand the rain and have a relatively dry night. They're going to get more water tracked in with them than is going to come through that door. Maybe a little bit's going to come in. But this would be a real step up for somebody who finds themselves trapped in the rain. And even if I were to find somebody who is trapped, help set this up and get them into it quickly, I think that this would work great. And so for $20, I think that this is one of the better investments that would really help improve the quality of somebody's life living on the street. And anybody who's just looking for a tent on your own, I think that the $25, $30, $40 I've spent on other tents did not give me something significantly better. And in other ways, not as good as this. So I think that for its money, this is a really good tent. It's not going to work in the summer because of the ventilation, but if it's light rain or short-term use or biggest bang for the buck, this is a really good tent. NTK Panda 2. I don't know about this, 2 and a baby action, but this is definitely the best investment for $20 that I've seen so far for a tent of its size and strength. Let's see. All of the specs on the tent itself were in Spanish, so looking at the original sales again on Amazon where I bought it, it does say it's a 2-season tent, and I think that any 2-season tent that you would find would not be significantly better than this without spending significantly more money. For $20, I think so far this is the best tent that I've seen. I would definitely buy one of these for myself if I was tenting alone, and I'm definitely thinking so far this is the one that I'm going to be investing in multiples for the homeless. I believe it's even available in different colors, which is ideal. That way everybody doesn't have the same colored tent. Excellent. So if you're going to buy a tent, I'd go with this one.